Virtus in Veritate, welcome to Fortikast, sharing good vibes and bring the Mariner community together every Friday 5 p.m. In this episode, we ask, what is JCL? Please welcome your hosts Miguel de la Cruz, Alvaro Cordero, and Anton Encarnacion. Alright, good day, 40 viewers!
Good Friday, guys.
Good Friday, and
Good day, guys.
Anton, your nose okay? I'm seeing a tissue.
Well, I tried to stop this nosebleed for the past 10 minutes, but I guess it's not going away. So, this
Look,
podcast episode features my nosebleed. Hopefully, it doesn't drip down. All right. So,
alright.
how
Okay,
was your
so,
week, guys? Comment
but,
down below.
yeah,
My week
it's
was like,
JCL week. Oh wait, oh sorry, Alvaro, you're technically a guest for today. Just realized. So I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna have to kick you backstage until the end focus. So bye.
Bye.
Okay, so it's just you and me, Anton. So
All right.
guys, if you're as excited as me for this very special episode, please comment down below. How many videos or talks have you watched already? And if you can, name your favorite. Good luck choosing just one. But let me check on my boy here first. So Anton, um, unless you have any other highlights for this week, what was your favorite part of JCL week?
Favorite part of JCL week. That's kind of hard. A lot of things were very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was actually impressed with the talks this year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there were some talks that I was like, whoa, I know that mic. Whoa, that camera is really good. I geek out on these things. But aside from that, a lot of the talks gave me a lot of insights. Like, and if they
Mm-hmm.
didn't give me a lot of insights, they reminded me of certain things. For example, I'm gonna quote the one of Bo Sanchez. I
Mm-hmm.
watched it, loved it. He reminded me that we are all instruments of God.
Mm-hmm.
We are all here on this earth to do His work, and I like how he made cuento. He told a story about this guy and how he went from zero, from hitting rock bottom to being one of the most successful people. So that talk was really nice. It was short, but it was special. All right. So how about you, Miggy? What was your highlight of this week?
Actually, before that, let me comment on the donkey thing that
Oh yeah.
brother Bo Sanchez said. It kind of made me think. I remember a story of how Saint Jose Maria was rescued by his guardian angel, and the reason he knows that it's his guardian angel is because the guy called him little donkey, something that he calls himself during his prayers. So there we go. Anyway, so my week, well, actually, aside from JCL, I have a very huge highlight, which is just yesterday, I had my college interview for my dream college. So
Woo.
I hope my answers are good enough. So pray for my results. And other than that, let me tell you my least favorite part of JCL week. Having to choose among all these talks, which one do I prioritize over the other, and which one should I let go of? I do not want to let go of any of them, but it's super hard to choose which one I should watch now because even though it's at our own pace, time is still kind of limited. There's around more than 60 talks. I've already watched around 7, and I still have like 33 in my playlist. So,
I
whew.
guess that's what Christmas break is for. Woo.
So Sir Hensha, if my reflection paper is late, I'm sorry. I want to watch as much so it could be really good. So
Same.
anyway, let's look at some of these comments before we move on. So Cisco Tobias is JCL was my whole week. It was everyone's week,
Whole week.
pretty much. And oh yeah, um,
I
Cisco
need to.
Tobias also says, Anton, thanks for directing the cinematography. I think he's talking about your
You're
music video, right?
welcome. All right. So
Love that.
this let's explain this comment a bit. So my brother, with Sir Hensha, their class advisor, they made a music video. They entered the song competition for JCL. So my brother came to me. He said, "Kuya, kuya, kuya, can you help me with the video stuff? With the video side?" And I was like, "Sure." I mean, it's JCL. It's gonna be broadcasted to the whole world, so might as well make it
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, they won second place. I'm very happy with that. So if you want to check it out, it's on YouTube.
Yep.
It's on the JCL YouTube. And also, Fire of Southcrest, congratulations to whoever's watching from there. Uh, you guys give a bag the first place. Amazing. All
Yeah,
right.
actually, when I saw your music video, I kind of fanboyed a bit because I saw clips from The Chosen, which is like
Yes.
one of
Yes.
my favorite shows ever. It's like so good. Also, Inverse Zero over here says we are all donkeys, and that brings us joy.
Amen.
Out of
That's true.
context, it's kind of weird, but that's the joke. Sugar over here, guy deliberately deliberating over buttons while sweating meme. Yes, that's me choosing which talk to go for next. Mm. And Gabby De La Cruz says, love the song.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so,
Thank
and
you,
Cisco
guys.
Tobias says, Christmas break. We still have one more week, guys. I know our brains are already like, okay, we're on break mode. There's nothing much. Then you look at your to do list.
Ah, the to-do list, the dreaded to-do list.
Okay,
All right.
so
Looking forward to Christmas break.
yep, looking forward to Christmas break. And so now, guys, if you like the panel yesterday, well, you're pretty much in luck because this is sort of maybe a part two. Not really, but maybe because we'll be having guests from that panel. Also, make sure to stick around till the end because our guest will be giving us some very special words. Also, I have an important announcement to make, but whatever. Anyway, so I think with that, it's time for us to move in focus. All right, so Anton, would you like to introduce our very special guest for today?
All right. So, as you guys know, we have an amazing set of guests today. Most of them, all of them are from the panel. So, if you're excited for that, comment down below. Oh my gosh, I love the panel. All
Very
right.
specific for
So,
sure.
let's start. Well, let's introduce the esteemed two-time president of Fire of Rose Hill School, the amazing Maya De Castro. Hi,
Yes.
Maya.
Hi
Hi, Maya.
guys.
Thank you for being here with us
Hello.
today.
Of course, no problem.
Also, good
All
job
right.
hosting the panel yesterday.
Thank you
Amazing
very
job.
much, guys. Thank you.
If Anton Bolrich, if you're here watching, amazing job too. I was very proud. All right, so next, our guest hailing from Australia, the one and only Natalia Nader. Welcome.
That's
Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Hello.
hi. Thank you for being here. I know it's like 8 o'clock there, so thank you for
Yeah,
giving us your
thanks for
time.
having me. Thank
Very
you. Happy
honored.
to be here.
And let
All
me
right.
introduce this last guest. Of course, it's Alvaro. Hi.
Ah, hello, Alvaro. People seem to miss you. May daming comments, a lot of supporters. All right. So
Eh,
here, Keita Balagtas says, mga world famous na yan. Oh,
that's
thank
Anton
you so
Pesa.
much.
That's Anton
Anton
Pesa.
Pesa used to be the host of this show, Fortikast. And then Keita Balagtas says, hi, Alvaro Perdero. I missed you very much. All right. So, Alvaro, my beloved, hello. Sheesh. All right, all right. A lot of Alvaro supporters here. All
Oh,
right, so
Southern
let's
Talia supporter, your sister here. Go, Nata.
woo, let's go.
Hi,
Wow.
Okay,
Jilly.
so
Hi, Jilly.
before we get started, guys, how was JCL week for you?
Let's start with Maya. How was your JCL week?
Ooh. As you guys know, we just wrapped up the panel and we worked so
Mhm.
hard on it for like the past few months. So it was so fulfilling and like reading everyone's comments, getting everyone's messages. Um, it really like made my heart full and I was like so grateful. And for the week, we really just focused on like JCL and the panel. But we have like finals coming up, but we are still kind of packed until Christmas break. But I
Mhm.
think we can do it. Kaya pa naman. And then yeah, but I'm feeling really good. Yeah, cause yeah, very fulfilled and grateful. I think
Yeah,
that's how
good
I can
job with
describe
the
myself.
panel. When I watched it, I knew there were some challenges that were presenting your way, but you really pushed through. So congratulations on that, guys. Natalia, how about you? How was the week for you?
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. It's been good. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed doing the panel yesterday. Yeah, thank God, all went smoothly. It was really good, and all the talks have been so awesome. One of my teachers from Tengara did a talk actually the other day, and I just watched that, and yeah, really insightful things. Yeah,
Um, which one is your teacher? Maybe I could take note of that so I could watch it
Miss
later.
Katrina Alvi, Miss
Okay.
Alvi.
Okay,
Oh, she's
sige.
your
Noted.
teacher. Wow,
Yes.
my brother had an assignment to do that talk, and he made the whole family watch it. So,
Oh
say
wow.
congratulations.
Nice. And of course, how can we forget Alvaro? You weren't in the intro, so how was your week?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Super mind block right now. My week it was really good. I enjoyed the panel, especially the preparation for it because it was funny. We were really unsure of a lot of things. Whether like is this gonna happen? Who's gonna talk? Is he gonna answer? Is that yeah? It was
Mm,
super. We were like I don't know. I guess it was my con. It's the constant prayer to Saint to Don Alvaro that all things just went into
nice.
place. And yes,
Oh
Kato,
yeah.
it was a very good week.
All right, so I think it's time for us to get to the meat of discussion. So, Anton, why don't you start our conversation for today?
All right. So, first question to all of you guys: how did it feel connecting to people all around the world through this conference? Like, we have a lot of speakers from around the world. We have a lot. We have this first our first international panelist. So, how did it feel? Because this is a unique opportunity. So let's start with Alvaro.
I was about to say I can go second, but
Okay.
okay, so I felt like I'm feeling thank you. Sorry. Sorry. I was really nervous. I mean, everyone was nervous because quite frankly, it was like the first time of a lot of people except Maya and Anton. Sorry, there's like a car that's like outside. And I think I was the most I'm not sure, but I was super nervous because one, it's actually really my first time, and second, I didn't like I was the youngest out of everybody, out of all the panelists, I was the youngest.
Mm,
And I was super scared na, sorry na, I was like super scared, like, what if I say something wrong? Or like, what if I offend somebody? But like, I remembered that I was surrounded by people that had the same thinking. Like, the other presidents, Maya, Anton, Carmela, all of them had the same thinking. Like, what if I say something wrong? It's an international panel. Everybody's going to see me. What if something bad happens? Since I knew that I was surrounded by people that had the same, like, amount of nervousness as I had. I became more confident because I
mm.
was not alone. And in the end, I was just really happy because I was able to say what I wanted to say in front of many people, and the presence of all the panelists made me calm down and made me enjoy the whole panel. Yeah, thank you.
Actually, Alvaro, would you say that being the co-host of my co-host here in Fortikast would have helped you
Yeah,
somewhat?
actually, it really did because I we needed like spontaneous prompts, like random side comments. And there's this one time where like Maya disconnected and I was speaking. So I was like, so I think we should have like another comment. Like I kept stuttering because I didn't know what to say next. But thankfully, Maya reconnected and she took on the show. Yeah, the Fortigas really helped me a lot.
All right. So you're the youngest, which means you're still have the chance to be president for at least 2 more years. And speaking of 2 years as president, Maya, how about you? Why don't you go
Oh,
next?
okay. Yeah, I've actually been president for 3 years now since grade
Oh, okay.
10.
I'm so
So
sorry. Well,
yeah, no
congratulations.
problem,
All right,
guys.
three
No
years.
problem.
What a legacy.
Um,
Power to you.
but yeah, thank you so much for the save, Alvaro. That whole error thing, it kind of like shook me up or something, cause it said like the error is not your fault. So like, whose fault was it? But good thing that I got to join in time. So connecting with the people from around the world, it was actually refreshing because it really sticks to the name of the conference. Like, it's an it's a Jesus Centered Life International Conference. So we got like a first person like interaction with that, like interacting with Natalia and like emailing with them, Carmela talking to them through WhatsApp, right? So it was like a whole new experience. And I think we really like want to welcome that change, and like that change is so welcome because given our situation now, everything's like kind of like routine like, or it's always the usual. So having this like fresh energy and like having this something new to add, it was really refreshing. And it really made me happy. Like it's good to have like some changes in like how things are being run and all of those things. And yeah, I just really welcomed the change. And it was really fun working with everyone. We had like so many meetings that like varied in time. Like
Mhm.
sometimes we'd have a meeting at like 9 a.m., then others 4 p.m., then like latest 8 p.m. But like everyone was there. And then we were all like talking to each other and like discussing how we can make this a really good panel. And yeah, it was really fun like connecting with everyone.
Yep, the week was definitely different from most weeks. Like I remember, like most weeks when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I don't want to wake up because I'm already thinking I gotta get to the laptop to school. So the greatest gift for me this week was the fact that the days are mostly asynchronous classes, and I could go to sleep late. Just kidding. Okay. Anyway,
Almost
so
3 days
final.
of quote unquote no classes. That was really a blessing. It was like a
No,
break
thank you.
before next week.
Yep.
All right,
And
so let's move on to Natalia. How did it feel?
Yeah, for me it was really exciting. I know when my teacher Miss Avi, she first asked a few of us to be a part of this panel, and I remember I was a bit nervous when she told me that it was, an international panel and like there'd be lots of people watching. But yeah, and then Carmela started messaging me on WhatsApp, and she was so nice. And then I met all of you guys, and I was like, wow, like they're all so nice and encouraging and welcoming. And yeah, I just think it's so awesome that we get to like connect with people from all across the globe. And I just think it's really good to gain insights into like our same faith that we all believe in. And like, yeah, I know I've learned so much personally from this, and I hope everyone else has as well. Because I know like coming from Tengara, it's a really small school, so I haven't really had much interaction um, with people outside of my community. So this has been such an awesome experience. I know I've learned so much, and my perspective on so much has changed already just from doing like the panel yesterday, and yeah, just listening to all these talks. It's been really good.
I
yeah,
really
it's
wish we could do
been.
this in person. It would be fun to
Yeah.
fly to
Yep.
different countries, but COVID. Hopefully, maybe in the future. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, in the
But I'll be
future.
college by that time. There's
Hmm.
gonna be an international JCL. Can't wait to see it. All
You'll be
right.
giving a talk. You'll be giving
Oh
a talk
wow. One day. One day
one day.
we'll all get there.
All right. So yes, you've been saying that this has been such a great experience, and there has been so many activities from talks to panels, meditations. Definitely a lot of stuff that we could learn from. So, can you give us what are some of your main or favorite insights from all the events so far?
I think I can start off like this question. So most of my insights are coming from the panel because I think everyone's also overwhelmed with so many insights, right? But for me, some things that like stuck to me the most was when we were talking about being happy and sharing the joy. But we also must allow ourselves to feel our feelings. Like Jesus understands when we're sad. Like all those things. So it's okay not to be happy all the time, or when you feel um other things that's not related to happiness. Like it's completely acceptable. And because if we do force happiness and like mask the feelings that we are actually genuinely feeling, it can get like toxic, like what we mentioned. So it's best to like stay true to yourself and like accept whatever you're feeling. And that's what I really took from it. And when it comes to sharing the joy, uh we have to start with ourselves. Like from Alvaro's analogy, you can't pour from an empty cup, or like from the different cups, it can't be empty and then you attempt to pour it. So you have to start with yourself. That's why we have all these small things we do to keep the joy. we gave a lot of examples yesterday, and I think anyone can relate to any of those. And once you start with yourself, so it won't be overwhelming to like pressure yourself to spread the joy, like bring joy to the world, like the whole world. Of course, it's pressuring because we come from a small country. We're just like a very small part of the world. How can we like effectively do that? But it's best to just start with the people around you, start with your household. Like I'm an only child, so I'll probably like start with my parents and like my neighbors and all those things. And if you guys come from bigger families with your siblings, and yeah, it's really sharing the joy with the people you're surrounded with, because if there's joy there, you can also keep that joy because you're surrounded by it. So yeah, also from the talks, i I kind of rested from the panel, but this kind of transitions to the talk I watched, which was about preventing burnout. So I am obviously going to watch more of the talks because there's so many in the selection. They sent like a thread in our group chat, and it was so long to like scroll through. So there are so many topics that like fit every person, like every student, teacher, parent, all those things. But in preventing burnout, what I really got from it was like keep the Sabbath properly, or like keep it free. So like that's our Sundays. Because it really triggered me because she mentioned that someone who was an 18-year-old and in her last grade like came up to her talking how she was overly stressed. And I think that was like relatable because I just turned 18 and I'm like grade 12, and sometimes I do end up being stressed. So I was like, okay, I think I really need to listen to this. I'll like get to the end of this. But what she said, it's like keep your Sundays free, worship and rest. Because I just noticed from like my routine, I usually like leave some work for Sunday. Like I clear everything, and then Sunday you end up like cramming everything. But you shouldn't do that. Like that's what I got from it. You have to keep it clear. Work for the 6 days and rest for that one day. Cause I just noticed that while you're resting, it makes you prepare for the work week ahead. So you really need to clear that day. And I think that's what I'm gonna practice, because you really need time for yourself. And rest isn't just physical, but she also said that it was like rest in thoughts, emotions, and your soul. So you really just need some time off, and it's completely okay. So that's really something that I will try to personally practice, because it's hard to get burnt out, because once you get burnt out, it's usually when you have to do the main challenges and like what you're really supposed to do. And of course, you want to conserve that energy. So yeah, keep your Sundays clear, guys. Rest. Like resting is also like just not thinking about anything to stress about. Like just live, like just relax, look at the sky, watch the clouds, because that's what I do sometimes, like just reset your brain at some point. But yeah, see, I only like watched one talk so far, but I already got like something from it, and it's something concrete. So I think all the other talks can also do that. So those are like my main insights so far for this conference.
Yeah, so you said something about yeah, as you said, you guys talked about in the comment yesterday, the panel yesterday, that happiness can get toxic if not like taken care of well. Like yeah, whenever I think of that, whenever I think of forcing yourself to be happy, always think of the movie Inside Out, which you guys mentioned. So I guess just think like, yeah, rest is very important, and sometimes we have to rest from forcing ourselves to be happy every day. So it's kind of weird to say you need to rest from happiness sometimes, but yes, that's actually true. So just rest, appreciate the little things like you could watch a movie like Inside Out. You I recently found this little cute little comics in Facebook about Jesus, which are really cute. You could check them out, comics. Or if you're really stressed, you could reverse that, get some dessert. That will really help with your stress. So as a
I
wise
saw
teacher
that
once told me.
Sir Watt
I
mentioned that
Yep.
just
agree.
a while ago.
All
The
right.
the reverse of stress is desserts.
So anyone else
So
want to
I
comment
also
on that?
want to
Yeah.
comment on what Maya said. Like I can really relate with the saving tasks or putting tasks for Sunday, because especially in senior high, like we have these uh, research papers to do, we have these term papers to do, we have so much group works also, and it feels like if you don't do anything on Sunday, it's like a waste because the next day is Monday. So um, I actually went to confession uh, today, earlier in the day, and Father told me, you have to learn how to rest on Sundays, because yun nga, it's the Sabbath. And um, I noticed that recently I've been trying to rest more, because of course we have to be prepared for all the new challenges that come. So uh, what I also learned this from a talk of Miss Liv Harrison. She's a radio broadcaster, and she said Jesus took naps. He believed in snacks. So I think that was a really big takeaway for me. I'm like, yes, rest and snacks, the best combo. Because like when I'm stressed, I'm like, okay, I have this paper due in like a day, but I really don't feel like doing it. Let's eat first, to get my mind off the work. And usually after I eat, I have the energy to keep doing it. I'm like, whew, let's go. And then sometimes when it's really a crunch, you know, uh, I just get some, like, because I always have a collection of sweets. I have a sweet tooth. I always have these gummy bears, and then while I'm typing, I slowly munching on them. So yeah, that's one big takeaway. I really agree with Maya that we have to rest on Sundays. So next one.
All right, before we go to Natalia, hold on. I just want to highlight some comments. So first, from Sugar, Plato, some Greek guys said that
An
emotions have to be
old
balanced
Greek
and
guy.
regulated because even the positive ones will have consequences. That is very true. And Kobe Cabasso, I want to comment on this, something that will make me sound like a hypocrite, but whatever. I've recently learned something about the paradox of work, which is the more time you have to do something, the less work you actually do because it expands to fill up that time. And so you have to find like unproductive little things to fill it. So here's the thing, teachers, more often than not, actually give us quite a some time in advance before the due date, like around a week, maybe 3 days at the least. And so because they gave us ample time, maybe we could actually divide that time into alternating work and rest, so that by shortening the time, the work doesn't have much space to expand to, so you actually do much more work in a short amount of time. Again, this will make me sound like a hypocrite, but whatever. Anyway, so moving on, Natalia, how about you?
Yeah, wow. I'm gaining insights by the second. Everything that you guys just said about Sunday rests and about yeah, about all of that. That's all new to me. So I'm really taking that all in, and that's really interesting. Something that I definitely will take away was, I think there was a lot of talk about journaling yesterday. I think Alvaro, you mentioned that. Yeah, and that's something that I definitely thought was really interesting, like communicating with God through writing down our thoughts and like using that as a means of prayer and stuff. And that's definitely something that I'm going to incorporate moving forward. And yeah, also just touching on that idea of toxic positivity. I thought that was really interesting because usually we all, when we hear positivity, we connote that with always, positive things. So I never really had thought about to the extent to which that could be harmful. So I thought that was really interesting as well. Yeah, that's something I definitely learned as well.
Okay, yeah, thank you, because I didn't know. It's like when I was saying my answers yesterday, I was like, is anyone even gonna learn from what I'm saying? But thank you, Nat, for saying that you found my talk about journaling interesting. Yeah,
The
what
thing
I
is,
found,
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
sorry, okay. For me, what I've like my main insights about like the JCL is mostly it really appeals to the youth and to the old people. Sorry, old people, but yeah, it really appeals to all ages because I checked the I checked the email that was sent to us with all of the it's like the list of all the talks, and I really like looked at it, and I was like, wow, there's so many talks here. There's like talks about parenting. There's talks about like keep keep a happy family, and there's also talks like about soul care, self care, And then there's like talks for everybody. Like the talk that Maya watched, I also watched that. The how to prevent a burnout. Yeah. So, and it I think one I didn't finish it yet. I was like halfway, but like I had to prepare for this episode. But one takeaway I got from that is Sabbath actually means rest. So yeah, you should really keep your Sundays free. And one more thing that an insight is enjoy the little things. 'Cause I think somebody mentioned it in the panel yesterday, and I just love how Maya said she looks at the sky sometimes. Me, like I like go to our terrace and then I stay there for like 30 minutes without moving, just because like I'm looking at the sky and the little things, not even just like the sky, but also your family, your parents, your siblings. Me, I come from a family of 10, and I really love like going with my sisters, like talking to them, like my little sisters, like, oh, Kuya Alvaro, did you know I did this in Roblox? I made a house and then I was trading with this guy, but he didn't want to trade with me. Even though like I don't get to talk to her that much, like hearing her say that just makes me really happy. And like being able to just know that somebody's there for you, like the little things, your siblings. I just really love hugging my sisters, especially Catherine and Adibel. Yes, shout out to you guys. I love you guys. And yeah, that's my answer.
I want to comment on what Alvarez said. Big family. I can really relate. Miggy, I think you can relate also. I'm not
Abby's
sure
right
about
next to me.
Natalia. Do you have a big family? All right.
I just have a
So,
brother, just one.
That's
ah,
nice.
all right. So for us, me, Miggy, and Alvaro, big families. I come from a family of seven. Miggy, you come from a family of
8.
eight, and then eight. So I can really relate to that. The joy when you see when you see your sibling happy, because like I remember I heard from the talk of also from Miss Liv Harrison. I really love that talk. She said there's nothing more joyful than a child, like because they when you're a child you don't think about all these things. You don't think about, oh, that person is looking at me in a weird way. Is he judging me? Do I have something on my shirt? They're just like they're happy to exist in this world. So when because I'm the eldest of my five siblings, and whenever I see my younger siblings, like they're because we play together, uh and whenever they like get a score or something, we're all so happy for each other. We're like, yes, go, go, go. So that joy between siblings and family, I feel like that's really special. And it was I think it was emphasized well this JCL. Oh, that rhymed. So yeah, what Alvarez said, there's joy in seeing people smile around you.
Yeah, the thing about siblings, as Kobe Kama said, my siblings get mad at me when I don't understand what they're saying. I think for me it's a reverse. When I don't understand what my little brother is saying, it's go like, I don't care, please. And now based on what you guys are saying, I'm feeling guilty, and I realize I think I need innocence again. And also, so as Alvaro and Maya mentioned, looking at the sky, I remember I used to do that, and it just feels so relaxing. I don't know why I don't do that anymore. Then I just look at the night sky and I feel relaxed. I feel inspired. Used to make me think of a girl I like, but whatever. And yeah, okay, not gonna talk about that in public. But
Spill
also,
the tea.
no. Also, Alvaro, you said something about you were worried whether people will even learn anything from
Yeah,
you.
like yeah.
What I've learned is if you could make change something about one person, that's enough. So definitely, since this conference reached like worldwide international audiences, definitely there's more than one person who learned something from you. So all right,
Thank you, thank you.
um, Anton, you want to give the next question?
Sure. All right. So the next question is, who do you look up to as your mentors in leadership and why? Because I know when you start becoming a leader, there's always this person or there are these people who give you inspiration. So why don't we start with Natalia?
Yes,
Sorry.
I'd love to start. I think I look up to so many people when it comes to leadership. I think nowadays people have the idea that leadership is someone who can like give instructions to like lead a group of people to accomplish like a goal. But I think I was taught in one religion class, I think in year 10, that leadership is about someone's character and how they lead by example. And I think that really stuck with me. Like it's who you are as a person that makes you a great leader. So in saying that, as cheesy as it might sound, I think the people that I look up to um, in leadership is definitely God and Mother Mary, and I think they just serve as the perfect examples of leaders. Because if you look back on the life of Jesus, he just the sacrificial love that he displays in his life, and Mother Mary, just saying yes, trusting in the will of God. Yeah, I think that's really inspiring, and that's just the perfect example of leadership. And I think that if we can strive to be like that as leaders, I think we would all be amazing leaders. So other people that I look up to as mentors for leadership, my parents, I think they just embody the faith so well, and they just display that sacrificial love for everyone. And I see how selflessly they can love each other and love everyone around them and love us. And they never complain, and they're so humble in everything they do day to day. And I think I've taken so much from that, and I really strive to be like that. And the last person that I wanted to mention, shout out to Miss Alvia if she's watching. She's my mentor at Tangara, and yeah, she's just been such a great example of leadership. She's helped to instill the faith in me every single time, like we have a chat. And she's just a great example of positivity and love and humor. And I just look up to her so much. So yeah, shout out to Miss Alvia if you're watching.
All right, I just want to comment. So usually when we think of mentors, we think of like our teachers. Definitely, some my English and religion teachers are some of my mentors because that's kind of basically the outline of what I want to do in life. But then when you mentioned parents, like specifically you also mentioned Jesus and Mary being the perfect examples of love, of leadership. And honestly, that sacrificial love that you see in Jesus and Mary, you could really see small amount like small but very substantial amounts of it in your own parents, like the sacrificial love, the perfectly we would give up anything for you. You could see that in parents, definitely. So like yeah, definitely parents are somewhat underrated figures of leaders and um mentors. So yeah, Maya, wanna go next?
Sure. Like when I first like heard the question, I thought about so many people. Like I had so many people in mind, but for me, I think there's like a difference with like people who mentor you and people who encourage you. Like mentors do encourage as well, but in encouraging, they like show their support in whatever you're doing, whatever position you're taking in, and like whatever tasks you need to do, like they encourage you to do so and all those things. But for a mentor, they like guide you and really inspire you through their actions. Yeah. So it's like through actions, I think, like mentoring. So when I like cleared that up in my head, I got to like separate it a bit. Yeah, like group or just think about it again. Yeah, and then um so talking about actions, I immediately thought about my upper batchman. I mean, I've been in the student council for 5 years, I think. So of course we have members who have graduated already, and like, but I've still worked with them, and from them I really got to watch and learn, like from their experiences and like working with them. So I think that guidance really prepared me for whatever I'm doing now and like what position I'm in. And those ates, like I really appreciate them. Like I always think about them. I always like recall everything they've taught me, and I think it really helps like till now. Like they really helped me become a better leader. And as what Natalia said and what Maggie said, parents, like it's also really my parents. They have been taking leadership roles ever since. Um like they're all I always know that they're always taking these roles and really helping people. And my dad was also student council president when he was in high school. So there's really an example, like leading by example, I guess. So that's really an example. I keep using example. So because every time I seek advice or like asking them like what should I do in this situation, they always seem to say the right things, or they really help me out, like clear that up. So those are really people I think are mentors for leadership, for yeah, my leadership journey experience.
All right, just to comment on a few things. So first of all, upper batchman. So that means I would also like to shout out Lucas Bonifacio and Anton Pesa if you're watching. Definitely mentors for us here in Fortikast as the OGs. Um, Also, you mentioned about the difference between encourage people who encourage and people who mentor. I think also that what that might be is like people who encourage you. Let's say someone has a talent for music and was writing songs, and their music is great, but the lyrics are encouragers might just go like, yes, just keep doing that. You're doing great. Go on. And but mentors, I think, would just gently tell them maybe they want to rethink their lyrics. Like they're not just all positive. They balance. And
That's
someone
right.
Yeah.
also
There's like a guidance part of it where they help
yes.
you like correct it and stuff. Yeah,
Sure.
that's a
Also,
good
Sugar
explanation.
here says something about character isn't everything. He would wait highly, but he would rather take a competent leader than a not with the not so great character than a good person but bad leader. I think this actually would depend on what kind of leadership role you're filling. If you're the type of person who's just an everyman, you could definitely be a leader by having good character. Even if you're not super competent, you could definitely be a leader without intentionally being one just by setting an example. But if you're like going to lead a country or a huge organization, then yes, definitely competence is very important. So sometimes, yeah, like political leaders, sometimes they have very unlikable personalities, but if they're the because politics is kind of messy, but if they are competent, their values are there, then maybe we shouldn't be too discouraged about the bad personalities. But again, of course, definitely character and competence need to go together. You can't just say, oh, he's saying that if it's a bad personality, vote for them. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Please, maybe Anton could
All
help me
right.
out here.
So I also want to comment on that. I guess he's talking about political leaders.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Touchy
really
subject.
comment on that. I'm not super knowledgeable, but I remember this thing that Sir Cassie taught us. Sir Cassie, if you're watching, I learned something from Orgman. I learned it's hard because he may be the best engineer in the world, but if he's lazy, he doesn't do his job. Compared to someone who's hardworking, he will be willing to learn, even even if it's hard. Right? So that engineer might not have the same competence as a super good engineer, but he has the attitude to be willing to learn, to maybe even surpass that engineer with a bad personality. So I just wanted to say that. I mean, I know you're talking about politics. That's a whole different sphere, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't comment on that. So yeah.
I guess when it comes to being an everyday hero, everyday leader, hero, leader, whatever, then character probably possibly comes first. But if you're leading like in an important position, then you definitely have to balance both character and competence. So anyway, let's move on to the next question, and this one is quite general, so you could answer
But
this.
wait,
Oh
wait, wait!
wait,
I didn't
oh,
answer yet.
you didn't answer? Didn't you answer
Yeah,
first?
I
I'm so
didn't
sorry.
answer. I
Go
didn't
ahead, go
answer.
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just try to keep this short. As okay, a person who I really look up to, first and foremost, Lucas Bonifacio. If you guys don't know who Lucas Bonifacio is, he was the president. He's been the president for so long, and he is a great friend of mine. And he is just a really good person. He's really bubbly, and he's a person you can talk to, you can cry to, you can tell him anything. That's why for me he's a great example that I should follow, because he's a leader that anybody can look up to, because he is more than just a leader but more like a friend, like God. And a few more people I look up to is, yes, Lucas Bonifacio. If there's Lucas Bonifacio, there is Saint Joseph, because Saint Joseph, he if you like look at the Bible, he's not like, you don't see or like read anything about him that much. And it's because he was doing everything behind the scenes. And I think that's one thing I also want to develop, wherein I am happy working behind the scenes and stuff like that. And one more is my sisters. If you guys didn't know, my two eldest sisters, Mika and Gabri, both of them were the past uh, student council presidents of Paraf Rosil. So that really just made me wonder if they can do it. What about me? Can I do it also? And it just made me curious. So just a little background. I was the senator for 2 years, or sorry, there's like a really loud something outside. I was the senator for like 2 years, grade seven, grade eight, grade seven. Oh, sorry, I think 3 years, and then yeah, and then I became the president. So that was a really big jump for me, and the person that really helped me through the journey of being a president is none other than Lucas Bonifacio and Sir Hencha. So yes, shout out Sir Hencha.
All right. So before we move on, I just want to take note that there are a lot of people not a lot, but there are a few comments in the comment section talking about Machiavellianism, and I would just say this, me because Sugar asked if there's some truth to it. I'd say there are some factual truths somewhat in there, but in terms of moral truths, I would say there's none. I'm not an expert, so take me on that. Take me that with a grain of salt. But I'd say there is some factual truths, but no moral truths in there whatsoever. It's literally amoral. So that's it. And definitely, if you're a Machiavellian leader, it's gonna be hard to have a Jesus-centered leadership. So let's go back to the JCL and ask this very general but very important question of just what is the importance of the JCL? Um, Alvaro, since you keeping the
Yeah, I was
finale,
going to say I can go first
go
because I've
first.
been going last. So, okay, sorry for the viewers if you guys are wondering why I'm always last, because I'm telling them in the private chat, can I go last? It's because I have to formulate an answer. So, yeah, I guess, okay, prompt. Oh, this is the second JCL we've had. What's the importance of JCL? I think the importance is to really uh to prepare for the coming of Jesus. Because did you guys notice how JCL is held in December? Last year it was also in December. This year it's also in December. And it's to really prepare for the coming of Jesus, which is this December 25. And I think it's really sorry. I keep saying I think it's really because I'm really unsure of myself right now. Yeah, it's really to touch the lives of people. Thank you, Anton and Carnation, to really help us grow in the faith and prepare for Jesus. Yeah, I think that's my answer. I'll just go with that. It's for us to prepare for Christmas.
Actually, if I may, I might just say that the wording for Jesus-centered leadership, because I keep on saying, Jesus is everywhere, and therefore Jesus should be in everything in your life. And I've always imagined that as some sort of like indescribable omnipresence is everywhere in every single inch of this room, in whatever I'm doing. But by saying Jesus centered, it kind of shifted my perspective into something that's easier for me to understand, in which he's at the center, I am just revolving around him. For me, that makes it easier to practice putting Jesus in everything you do. Aside from just thinking that Jesus is passively just everywhere, you think of Jesus as actively being in the center, if I'm making sense. So that's just
He's
my
not
brief take
just
on it.
some big giant figure that we all live in.
The force.
Yes. All right.
So
So next,
who wants to go
Maya.
next? Okay.
All right. So I think JCL, like this whole conference is so important because it's really the opportunity to refocus ourselves and, provide us with formation and, give us formation and all those things. Because this is an online conference. Maybe soon, like you guys said, it might be live and there's going to be like other host countries. You'll never know. But the internet can be so different and you can start so many different things on the internet. You can like create
Mm-hmm.
groups and like servers or whatever, and then you meet about something and you don't know if it's like a good or bad thing, but it's good that this this is something that uses the freedom in a good way because it unites us for a very very good reason. And it's good that it does happen before Christmas, so like before you end the year you like have this thing where you can also think about how you can be better next year or how you can end the year right. So it's very important, and at least it gives us like an opportunity to start again, or like reflect on ourselves. Like, have we been hold on, brain fart. Um like, are we good Christians? Like, are we being good children of God? So through like the talks, we can work on that. Okay. So yeah, I think that's why it's so important.
All right, and finally, Natalia, want to end everything?
Yeah, I think you guys pretty much covered it. But yeah, I think the whole point of this conference is to just deepen our understanding and deepen our like love for Jesus and love for God. Because I think we're able to really reflect on the life of Jesus and how to like live a life of virtue and faith the best that we can. And I know that this conference has definitely taught me so much already. And yeah, I hope it has for all of you guys as well. And just by yeah, just reflecting on what was said before, like gaining our understanding from all across the globe. And I think that's helped to like broaden our understandings and broaden our perspective on heaps of different things. I know this conference has definitely done that for me, just by researching into the questions, being a panelist, listening to the talks. Yeah, I think, yeah, and especially just before Christmas, it's the best time to have this conference, just to refocus ourselves and just put ourselves in a state of being ready for Christmas and the coming of Jesus. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And Angelo Bongkan said something, sent a long comment here, but what I'm gonna take away from this is he put the words into what I was trying to say a while ago. By saying Jesus-centered life, it made practicing the omnipresence of Jesus practical for us. Like doable and not just some giant concept. So please, guys, join me in thanking our guests for today. But we're not gonna say goodbye yet because we will be seeing you again in our wow. So
Wow.
before we move, I think right by now it's time for us to move and give our 2 cents.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
before we give our 2 cents, we would just like to remind everyone of the
The
JCL schedule. So
schedule.
please, there's actually going to be a is it gonna be a panel or a meditation? Help me out here. Right after this show. Okay, look at schedule. It's gonna be a panel.
You
It's going
guys
to be
can the meditation you can watch the
meditation. You
replay.
can
It's
watch the
available on
replay.
Facebook and YouTube.
Yep. And after this 6:30, we're gonna have our yeah. There's a lot of live events for the all the way until Sunday. Actually, this JCL is not yet ending here, even though we're already flashing back to it. It's not yet. It's still ongoing. So just remember that. And so for now, it's time for our 2 cents. So I think I forgot to talk about this before we start the in focus. But for our first time viewers, our in focus is when we take a deep dive into the topic with our guests. Our 2 cents is when it's our turn to um it's our turn to they disappeared for a while because it's our turn for us to give our insights. It's actually also your turn to give your insights. So please
Ooh.
comment down below what are your insights. If you have any answers to whatever the questions that we have asked here, if you want to give what your favorite insight is, go ahead. And so yeah, while I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna say, Anton, you want to start?
Well, as we said last week, the panel that we have today is great. We had a lot of great insights about the JCL, reminiscing on the past events, and just remembering all the valuable lessons. So I feel like this JCL, it's really a blessing in our lives because, especially the youth, us the youth, we are not that. Um, some people are not that critical in thinking yet. Like for example, my brother who's grade 4, he probably doesn't know. He probably can't read the theology of the Bible and etc. etc. So this JCL gives them a nice opportunity, as Angela said, to learn about the faith, to learn about the different parts of the faith, and they actually give practical advice. So I want to comment on that. Like, because if you go to religion class, usually you're going to be taught about the theories. the concepts, but in this JCL, you're taught how to live it in your life, which is what I really appreciate. So even my youngest brother, he's grade 4, 9 years old. He says, "Oh, Kuya, we should not do work on Sundays. It's bad, huh?" And especially my youngest brother, he's very, very. He's like a policeman. When when he learns something like, "Oh, okay, don't work on Sundays," and then maybe next week, if I'm working on Sunday, he's gonna be like, "Kuya, do you want to disappoint God? God is gonna be angry with you if you don't stop working." And so I'm like,
Okay.
"Oh, no, no. Thank you, Marcus, for the reminder." So
Before you continue, let me just clarify for the sake of the audience everywhere. But I mean by don't work on Sunday, don't be like the Juice and Juice's time where they're like,
yeah,
don't lift that, don't wash the dishes because that's work. No, what we mean is don't do work that is unnecessary like
yes,
that you didn't need to do it on that day. Like you know I remember a specific case about mowing the lawn. If you're doing it as a chore on a Sunday, maybe best to save it for tomorrow. But if you're doing it like gonna mow the lawn because for me it's relaxing and I can take a walk, then you could actually do that. Because it's not doing work, you're actually doing a leisurely activity. Correct me on that
not
though
like
if I'm wrong.
it's not like,
Because
oh, getting out of your bed is hard work. No, don't stay in bed the whole day. Let's rest. No, no, no.
like don't
You
paint
just
the
have
house on a
to.
Sunday because you don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember Sir Rehensha in Perdev, he personal development. He told us that rest is a change in activity. It's not necessarily doing nothing because no one is
Mm.
able to do nothing. There was this time when I was young, I tried to do nothing. I was just like, but I realized I was doing something. I was breathing. My heart was beating. I was staying still. That's doing something. I was like, wow, okay. So a lot of people need to understand that rest is a change in activity. So, for example, if you've been doing work for the whole week, like um, you've been doing schoolwork. I like this comment. Weekend covers -7 point. No, no,
Plus
but
plus
yeah,
school
you have
points
to
minus 7
respect.
points.
I like this comment. So, yeah, again, wrapping up the uh,
Mm.
as Sugar said here, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I remember my Lolo also said this. He told this to my mom when they were small. If you love your work, then it's not work. You're on vacation every day. So if your work is your vacation, I guess it's allowed. All right.
All right. So
So
for me, the importance of the JCL, especially since it's an online conference, what I think about this is this. I commented this in the orientation video, but it was the host didn't highlight it, so I'll just repeat it here. Uh, okay. So the thing about this
whoa.
is, if you go online, it feels like the atmosphere, the community on the internet, it feels weirdly faithless. Like e- talks on religion is either avoided or
It's like
vilified.
taboo.
Yeah, so I think the importance of JCL is to show that young people, the youth, they're more faithful than the internet would lead you to believe. There are more faithful young people out there. So this just really is sparking hope and joy into the Christian community and the youth specifically. It's like definitely the best example for me right now is Blessed Carlo Acutis. Like he pretty much just tried to evangelize the internet, and I think as youth, that's what we are called to do, to evangelize the internet. Even in the face of cancel culture, there's a talk on that. I'm going to watch that later. Um, and yeah, I think that's it for me. So
I also want to comment that evangelizing the internet doesn't mean like
joining
shoving the
random
religion down people's
joining
throats.
random
Like,
forums like,
you're
hey,
not Catholic, you should die. You should be
hey,
Catholic.
we have 5 minutes to talk about Jesus in the YouTube comments.
Exactly. Like, it's I think a lot of people what do you call this? They have the misconception of you have to be Catholic or else you're not worthy. Like we have to respect each other. We have to treat each other like people. And like you have to lead them towards the path of conversion or
Hmm.
evangelization. You don't just go like, yo,
Scare
you
them
should
away.
be
That's not. That's
Catholic.
the
Ugh.
reverse. That's the reverse of evangelization. Scaring them
Exactly. You're
away.
just
They're
moving
gonna
them
double
farther
down
away.
against you.
Hmm. They're gonna be like, oh, Catholicism makes people like this. Oh, wag na.
Mm.
So you have to set a good example, which is why we had the student leader panel, because they are actually evangelizing people by talking about these insights, inspiring people to be like them. All right.
Okay, so again, as promised, we will have a special wow segment for today. But before that, I would just like oh, okay. So evangelize God sees everything and is present everywhere. Yeah, the internet feels physically omnipresent, but God is
Mm-hmm.
omnipresent even beyond that. So yeah,
All
definitely.
right. So
And
love the comment on mowing the
thank
lawn.
you,
That's a very
thank
good way to
you,
look at it.
thank you. Okay,
All right.
so
And last, one
hmm?
way I
What is
do
like to do?
just like studying sometimes
Studying
is to fully
sometimes it's fully
comprehend and
comprehend understand
understand the
topics.
topic.
Sometimes it just feels nice to apply and stuff.
Yes.
Is he saying that if you like studying, then it's not working?
Like, I think what he means by this is if you, for example, you learn a concept in math, like algebra, then
Mm,
like
start applying
your
it.
dad asks you, guys, do you know how to do this? And you're like, aha, I can do that. See that, here it is. So
Like
it's like
you're so
it's
proud.
rewarding
Yeah,
to be able to apply it in real
mm,
life.
there's like some sense of pride when you're like, oh, I just learned this word today. I use it. All right.
Exactly.
So again, we promise a special wow. But before that, I would just like to announce again that December 24 and December 31 are Fridays this year. And so we are planning on having a countdown streams for those days. But again, the only way for that to happen is with your help. So if you guys have any talent that you are willing to share or showcase, record yourself doing it and go to bit.ly/Fortikast until you see um these images. When you see these images, click on them. They will bring you to a to a Google Forms where you could upload your performances. And if there's enough, then we could have a stream somewhere near midnight during this Christmas Eve, just enjoying other people's performances. And yeah, that's it. I said that there's no that you could do it anytime before the episode, but preferably please do it before December 22 maybe so we have time to compile everything. So, yep, that's it. And with that, I think it is time to give some words of wisdom.
Wow. Love that.
All right. So, as promised, there's a special wow. So, for it, I prepared something again. This is not tea anymore. This is hot chocolate. Should this be a normal thing? I get a mug
Yeah.
of some
I
whatever
think
warm
we
thing
should. I'm gonna
every
start
Friday.
doing that. But I
All
have a
right.
jug.
So, bringing
Let's
back
go.
our esteemed guests for today, Maya de Castro, Natalia Nader, and Alvaro Cordero.
Woo!
All
Welcome back,
right.
guys.
So, guys, so normally our wow is actually us, the hosts, who give the words of wisdom. It's just any random piece of advice. But yeah, Uncle Iroh, everyone says that. But because this is such a special episode, we want to give you guys the chance to have your own 1 minute JCL talk or something. Maybe less than 1 minute. Any random thing you want to say. So here's the prompt, but it could be anything you want. So have fun. Who wants to start?
I think I can. I
Go
can
ahead.
start off. Okay,
Sige.
so
Go back.
how do we continue to learn while leading? So, like thinking about this, what do leading and learning have in common? And that is experience. So, keep an open mind. Through experience, we encounter a vast variety of people with different personality types, work ethics, different learning styles, and all those things. So, listen to what they also have to say. Since you're like teamwork's very important, dealing with other people, and then how do you experience? How do you get all these experiences? You take initiative. You take opportunities. So, like, I'd like to share before, I wasn't really the type to take initiative, and that was one like personal issue I needed to work on because I wasn't doing anything if I wasn't taking initiative, right? So, but now when I realize that taking initiative isn't that hard at all, like just taking that first step, usually people follow, and then like it gets the ball rolling, and then once I did, I realized that I kept learning from all these experiences and all these things I'm doing, like all the tasks I'm taking up. I learned from the good stuff, and of course the bad stuff. Like even more, you learn from the bad experiences, right? And yeah, so that's how I think that's how you continue to learn while leading through experience, and how through experience, initiative, and opportunity. So that's it for me.
All right, who wants to
Ooh,
go
1 minute
next?
JCL talk.
You want to go next, Alvaro?
Oh my god, I regret saying anything. Okay, so uh my journaling journey, a JCL talk by Alvaro Cordero. So yeah, I just made this banner right now. So yeah, why you guys should journal? It's in layman's, I don't know how to say it. It's just really nice to be able to see what's bothering you, what's bothering you in, like, physically. Like, let's say I'm being bothered right now because I have so much workload. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to write down that because just workload. I have to do this. But if you guys really take the time to journal what's really bothering you, when you pass that, when you pass those challenges and you look back at the days you wrote that down, you're gonna say to yourself, "Wow, I did this," and it's just gonna give you more motivation to get through whatever you're going through right now. So I think this is similar to one of the wows I given already, the cookie jar mentality, where you, whenever you're having a hard time, you remember the other, the past hard times you had, to inspire you and to like push through with whatever you're doing. So wow, that's like super far away from journaling already. But yeah, journaling,
I can
guys.
agree with that.
Woohoo! Journaling.
I journal.
Uh, all right,
Yes, this
and
is my first journal.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yay.
actually, Alvaro, let me just say, I don't think that was your wow. You were commenting on my wow when you said the cookie jar thing. But anyway,
Oh, was it yours? But I remember mentioning a cookie jar
yeah, you did,
already.
you did. When you were commenting on mine, I think it was the little things, ano,
Oh yeah, yeah. I
um,
commented the
wow,
cookie jar.
during the
Okay.
little
Anyway,
things.
that was it.
Okay,
My wow.
anyway. So
Anyway.
finally, a 1 minute JCL from Natalia.
Yes. So, how we can learn through leadership. I think that ultimately we learn through leadership through others. And I think
Mm-hmm.
leadership almost always comes with a lot of responsibility. So, I think inevitably we're going to be making lots of mistakes, just as Maya was saying. And I think, but at the end of the day, it's through these mistakes that we can learn as leaders and that we can pass on this knowledge to others as well. And I think that's what makes a really good leader. I think also it's really important to understand why you're leading, who you're leading, and to what purpose you're leading as well. And I think that also helps to make a well rounded leader and can really help you in the process of leadership and also help others in the process of leadership as well. And yeah, I just wanted to share this quote actually. It's from the Gospel of Matthew. And it says, "Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant." So I think that really just shows, like how leadership is really about, it's not about being above everyone else. It's about leading by example and carving the pathway for others through your actions and through, yeah, how you go about life and how you go about living a life of virtue. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Ma- Maya, it was your school motto, right? If you want to be a lead,
Yes.
to
Oh
lead
I
is to
lead,
wow.
serve.
I serve. Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Also, just want to comment. Okay. So first of all, there was a comment here that okay. So the best leaders are the excellent followers. Yes, that's actually a good quote. So yeah, but what I wanted to say here is this. How do we learn while leading? When we think of education, I remember someone's a teacher saying that education's root words actually both mean pouring over and drawing out. So when you teach, not only are you teaching, you're actually learning from your students. So I think when you lead, it is almost natural that you will eventually learn from those that you are leading. So that's what really what one of the best ways to learn while leading is to learn from the people you are leading. Like, of course, our role model in a lot of things is Jesus. He's a great leader, but since he's God and has perfect knowledge, I hope it's not wrong to say he doesn't need to learn anything anymore. So I'm going to instead take the example of Saint Peter. He's the leader of the church, and if I'm not mistaken, he had the help of the other people he's leading, like Saint Paul and all the other apostles, and he learned from them. He may be the leader, but he learned from those he's leading. So there it is. So thank you
I
very
also
much
want
for
to
your.
comment. Sorry, I
Thank
also want to comment on that because, like, I remember this quote from John F. Kennedy. He said, "Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other." Because a leader, being a leader, you have to you have to inspire people, and in order to inspire people, you have to make sure that you know, you have to embrace change. Sometimes you shouldn't stick with one ideology, like, uh, but you shouldn't also switch ideologies too often. So I think the confusion of a lot of people is what ideology should I stick to and what should I let go of. So that brings us to the point again. We should anchor our lives on Jesus
Mm-hmm,
because with that, we'll be able to embrace change while knowing that it's the proper change to embrace. Because, like, uh, especially like when we're leaders, of course, you have to learn how to, you learn how, sorry, you have to learn how to find better ways to teach people how to lead. So it's all about, as Angela says here, making every mistake that you make is one that others don't need to make. So it's like I'm reminded of like my parents. Um, they they strive for to be better so that we can have better lives than they did. So I think all parents want this for their children. They want to they want to bring them up sometimes. And the best, I heard this from one of my teachers in grade school. He told me, Anton, the best gift that a teacher can receive, that a leader can receive, is seeing the people that he taught surpass him in
mm-hmm,
excellence. So that really stuck with me. Like, it's like, at first I thought, but don't you want to be like the best at what you do? Don't you want to be the master? And he also told me that being a master means mastering how to teach. Because if you master how to teach, everyone around you can also become masters. So that's it for me. Ooh.
yeah. Speaking of teachers, actually, just wanted to say somebody corrected me. Sir Watt, thank you. So, as man, Jesus learned human virtues from Joseph and Mary. Also, what Anton told said reminded me of the quote I said last year, or something about the best leaders make even more leaders. So that's it. So, guys, thank you very much. If you guys want any parting words or shout out that you want to give, um, Maya, you want to start?
Oh,
Parting
sure.
words, shout outs, anything?
Thank you so much for watching, guys. It's like an extension of JCL. And hello to all the Rosebuds who are watching. Good luck on all your schoolwork, and I hope everyone enjoys their Christmas break, which is so near. And yeah, I think Alvaro has an announcement.
Wait, do I?
Go.
Uh, I have. Wait, yeah, I have. Okay, so
Wow.
actually, guys, let us support our other Parif schools. Let's support Parif Southridge because later at 7:30 p.m., the Father's Day, it's like their family day. The theme will be shown. Will be shown. Yeah. I will link to you guys where you guys can watch that in their YouTube and their Facebook. So let's support our other Parif schools. And yeah, uh, oh yeah, I have to say like shout out and thank you. So yeah, woo, thank you guys for sticking to us until the end. thank you if like some of my friends are watching. Hello and hi, mommy. Yun lang. Yes.
I also just want to give a shout out to Maya's classmate who happens to be my sister. Hi, Gabby. Thank you. And finally, Natalie, you want any shout out or parting words?
Yeah, just thanks guys for listening in again. Um, yeah, I've had an awesome time speaking today, and I hope you guys learnt something. And yeah, enjoy your Christmas break. If there's anyone from Australia watching, woo, and from Tangara, hope you guys enjoyed.
All right. So thank you very much, guys. And of course, just in case we don't get to talk again, Merry Christmas. Have a happy break. And with that, I think it's time for us to end. So, Virtus in Veritate, there is strength in virtue. This has been the Fortikast online show, once again bringing the Mariner community together and sharing good vibes. Next week, we will be having our Christmas episode with a very special guest. We have been trying to make this episode happen 3 times already. Hopefully, third time's the charm because this is our last chance before the Christmas break. So, I'll see you guys then. Stay safe. God bless. Fortuna Fabit Fortibus.
Whenever I... Oh. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Boom!